Welcome back, everyone, to Tried and True EDC. I typically announce my videos as part of a series. The handle usually is what I go by. This is the newest Benchmade 710. But I don't know how to classify this in a playlist because this is aluminum, is the handle. It feels really good, by the way. But I don't know where to put this. So for the time being, I am not going to classify this. And yeah, this is just another episode. No specific playlist series. But it is in Magnacut. Got a serial number. And what's kind of cool that came with it is they have this card. So this is in celebration of 25 years since the first 710 model came out. And it's developed by knife makers Bill McHenry and Jason Williams. And actually, the Axis lock debuted in 1999. Got some cool information here. I'm not going to go all through all of it. You can always pause this portion of the video and read it if you like. Let's take a look at some measurements. All right. So from tip to bottom of handle, you're coming at almost 9 inches. Cutting edge is looking almost 4 inches. And the handle is almost right at 5 inches for the handle. Let's take a look at the width from what I believe is the widest part, and that's coming in about slightly over 1 1/4 inch. Thickness, looking at about pretty solid 1/2 inch, not including the clip. Let's take a look at some weight. It feels slightly hefty, so I'm guessing over 5 ounces. 5.15 ounces. So just slightly over my comfort zone, where I've stated quite a few times it's between 4 and 5 ounces. And there's also a couple comparisons I would like to make. So the first one on the bottom, this is your PM2 crew carta. And then on the top, which is newly acquired, is your Military 2 crew carta, both spider coats. I'm going to take a glance at the blade, the cutting edge. Quite the difference between this and the PM2. But when you compare this to the Military 2, wow, it actually comes in slightly longer for a cutting edge. Let's talk about the blade. So you got your typical Benchmade insignia. It goes into this model that it's in. So types it has 710 and then also made in the USA. Uses thumb studs for opening. So you can flick it out or slow roll it. It uses a Flat Earth PVD coating for the blade. And again, it does state Magnacut for the steel, and my serial number is 635. McHenry and Williams. It's got a drop point with a recurve to it. So as you can see, this is really the recurve part. Feels nice and sharp. my experience with Benchmades out of the box, there's room for improvement on sharpness. So don't get your hopes up, but usually Benchmades aren't that sharp out of the factory. Just no jimping on the blade. Let's talk about the handle. So going back to the beginning of the video, I didn't know what to classify this as from a playlist series standpoint, but this is aluminum. I do like how the body screw right here for these two, well, holds in the backspacer right here, which kind of matches the blade color. It's a little lighter. So you got your backspacer, and the screw is actually on this side. So gives it kind of a cleaner look on the presentation side. It's got your screw for the blade stop right there. And that screws on both sides. Your pivot screw, nice clean look, is on the other side, so on the clip side. I like the different milling and patterns that they put in on the handle. It gives it a nice pop of texture and design. This also has liners, as you can see, and there is cutouts in it to line it up. It's got a bit of jimping on the liners on this side, so to kind of provide a bit of traction. You can even choke up right here. And the liners on the back, right on the thumb ramp. Slight bit of traction. Not very aggressive though. It's got drilling for the pocket clip on both sides, so you can make this a left-hand carry, tip up. And uses the axis lock. And it's kind of cool. It's a little different. The way it's ramped, so that way it gives you your index and thumb a little more grab. So pulling it down. This is free dropping. Very nice action out of the box. Let's talk about that pocket clip. This is a deep carry pocket clip. Factory from Benchmade. It's got your butterfly insignia. It's kind of got like a black wash finish to it. And the ramp, slightly less than Spyderco spoon clips, but lots of space, so shouldn't have any difficulty getting through pant material thicknesses. Let's take a look at that in the pocket. Oh, does not take up much real estate. Lots of room for your hand. And it rides pretty similar to most deep carry pocket clips. Not much knife sticking out either. Let's talk about availability and price point. I picked this up 2 days ago. Arrived today. Well, it may not be the same depending on when they drop the video, but I am reviewing the day I got it. This is far from an inexpensive knife. This is $600. There's been a lot of talk, either on social media platforms, mostly social media platforms, talking about how overpriced this knife is. And I actually wasn't planning to pick this up because of all the comments I read about it. But part of me wanted to give a review to, give all of you an opportunity to take a look at the knife up close. And my first impressions of this are extremely positive. They are all over the online space right now. At least 50% of the online retailers I visit frequently all have this in stock. I also got this from Cutlery Shoppe. They happened to send me my email notification 2 evenings ago, sitting in bed, and I was like, yeah, why not? Let's talk about my final thoughts. For $600, there's a lot of competition out there. $600, you could get an inlay Chris Reeve, Sabenza, and Cozy. Just the titanium version, this is $100 more than the plain Jane CRK. So, in terms of materials, I don't believe the price point justifies the materials used on here. Yes, it has Magnacut steel, and that's the hottest steel in the market right now. But I've also read that they did not optimize the heat treat in terms of hardness. So people are saying the hardness on this should have been a little higher. I mean, I don't use my knives to the point where I can tell the difference. And I certainly haven't put this to use yet, so I can't say from experience how well it's held up. For me, I believe the price is what it is because they're making a limited edition. So there's only 2,500 pieces worldwide. The 710 model hasn't come out as a production-ish model outside of like the gold class, or possibly like a custom one, which is, I believe, part of the gold class. And so it's been a while since it came out with the 710 model. But when these were dropping, when they first came out many, many, many years ago, they were under $200, I believe. So for it to jump to $600, though it's limited, I mean, I feel like they could have went with a better pocket clip for one. They could have made a linerness, maybe like all titanium. I know that's not Benchmade's MO typically. I do like some of the modifications they've done. The features of this knife, it feels really good in hand. No hot spots. And the aluminum has a very matte, yet it's a soft feel. When you think aluminum, like I've held some aluminum handles when the PM2 had an exclusive with Blade HQ, and those aluminum skills were, for my opinion, not very good. They felt like aluminum, but this has a very soft feel to it. It feels even better than if you're familiar with Microtech's. They're out the fronts. They use aluminum for their the handle. It feels a lot better than those two. Those still feel kind of aluminum-ish, where again, it doesn't feel like that. I mean, it doesn't feel like titanium either, but it feels solid in hand. It's a large blade. The PVD coating is part of additional costs. It's overall very nice. I mean, if I was to give a price point, which my opinion is probably not worth that much, but this is probably, they could have gotten more attention and more appeal if this was around $400. But anyways, I like it. It's a nice knife. I just don't know if the price justifies it. If you're a fan of Benchmade, especially the 710 model, I would assume you're going to go ahead and pick one of these up. I don't foresee it selling out anytime soon, just because, everywhere I've looked, it's still in stock at most places. Ironically, it's sold out at Cutlery Shoppe after I got my notification within a day or so. But, you know, they probably got a handful, maybe a dozen in hand. But, yeah. All right, well, that wraps it up. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you picked one of these up, if you have one coming. I know it's definitely controversial about the price. It's a very nice knife though, so I'm excited to try it out, use it, carry it. But yeah, drop any comments. Let me know your thoughts. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe so you get notified. To get notified, I realized you got to click that little bell icon. Otherwise, you'll just be a subscriber, which I would appreciate either way. But, you know, hopefully you get turn the notifications on so you can get the next video drop. And hope you continue to make great choices. Have a happy and safe weekend. Enjoy your day. Stay frosty.